Hi there again, Martin from 45 Days to 100k, martinconpublishing.com. Welcome again to lesson number 4. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on board today. Essentially, we're going to just very briefly recap. In yesterday's lesson, you got a taste of one of the hardest things that you're ever going to do in this business, and that's writing your 10 by 10 matrix and starting the writing lessons. Now, you might have found those exercises to be easy, and if that's the case, that's absolutely awesome. However, many people do struggle with getting started with a commitment to the writing lessons, and folks really do tend to struggle with the 10 by 10 matrix. So if you found it easy, excellent. If you found it hard, that's absolutely okay, because it is hard for most people. Now, in today's lesson, we're going to dig some more into the psychology of what it takes to build your full-time online business. It's not the same as getting a raise at work, finishing your college degree or university degree, or climbing the corporate ladder even. In fact, the key skills that lead to success in those places may often work against you in the online environment. This has probably been one of the main reasons why you've had so much difficulty in the past. But that doesn't matter, because we're now going to tackle those issues head on. Now, of course, I'm also going to give you some degree of homework today as well for this lesson. Now, first, I want you to address something. You might be asking, why do I really need to learn to write when I can just pay someone $5,000 to make my funnel for me and drive traffic to it? That is an excellent question. You may even be asking, why do I need to write a daily email? Why do you need to share with me any of these psychological things to help me understand why I'm not successful? Now that's even a downer. You may be asking some of those questions, you may be asking none, but let me answer them anyway. One thing that you might be thinking is that what I'm saying on one point just doesn't make sense. So why do I have to do it? Why do I have to follow what Martin's saying? Here's why. Ever heard the phrase, you don't know what you don't know? The thing is, you don't know what you don't know. And that's okay as long as you're prepared to recognize that I'm prepared to learn something new and take that away and move on with it. Maybe you're thinking, the other gurus or mentors or coaches or people I've invested $5,000 with don't make me do these things. They don't make me do a 45 lesson writing course. They don't make me write an email each day. They don't make me do a 20-minute live recording each day either. Yet, you want me to do everything. That is absolutely correct. I want you to do everything. That is the lessons, reading, listening, the emails, and the daily written exercises. And I'll just correct that with spelling error over there. These are the bread and butter of our business, as time will tell. Okay. My question to you respectfully is this. If all these other courses that they didn't tell you to do these things worked for you, why are you doing my course? What is it that you haven't achieved with the others that is making you think, okay, what can you help me with, Martin? We can talk all day about creating products and selling them, or driving affiliate traffic, or about evergreen things this or evergreen things that. But for some reason, whatever it might be in the past, it didn't work for you. And they say the definition of insanity is doing exactly the same thing that didn't work over and over again. So respectfully, that is why you're here. Either you've not been across those courses before, it's possible that I'm your first introduction to internet marketing, and if so, respectfully, that is absolutely awesome. I hope to give you the right information so that you can get started straight away. For those of you that have tried a whole heap of other things, it doesn't matter, because everything that you've learned, even if it didn't seem to make sense back then, will ultimately come together with a correct plan. Not only am I doing every day what I'm teaching you, I'm continuing to do it. Every day when I come home from my everyday job, because I do have an everyday job at this stage because I enjoy what I do, I sit in front of the computer and I create new videos. I create new emails. I create new written reports, new reviews for affiliate marketing. I create new products myself. This is of course one of those major products, and so on. I do what I tell you, and that is why I believe in it and know that it works. This is not theory, this isn't fluff, it's no hope, it's no dreams, it's actual reality of what's being done. These are the things I do to attract people to my website, to build tight relationships with them so they trust me and in return they invest in my training. Bottom line, that's what you want, isn't it? You want people to buy from you, but you're going to ask what? Products? Training? It can be either or both. You have so much within you already that you know, that you can write about, that you can create products and programs on. Whether it be videos, whether it be written reports, whether it be introductory free reports that then lead people to your bigger and better products. You can have a $7 product, you can have a $17, a $27 product, a $97 product, a $497 product, and so on and so on. Start small by all means and build yourself up. This is what it's all about. So I'm just going to note those down here. You need to believe in yourself as well. You're absolutely capable of producing a $497 product. It might even be a compilation of all your other products that you've put together to form a master training. It might be a compilation of all your audio programs which you can record using a computer, a reasonably priced Rode microphone as an example, lavalier microphone or a USB microphone connected to your laptop. You don't have to have a $5,000 to $25,000 recording studio set up anymore. You can set the whole thing up for probably under $2,000. These days, it's much cheaper. I'm even for many of my videos using my mobile phone, put in a memory card, buy a Rode lavalier microphone, and there you go, I've got myself my recording kit. Is it the best in the world? Absolutely not. Is it good enough to do these videos? Perfectly. Hence, chances are you've got the tools already that you need, or are very close to getting the odds and ends to make it all work. It's not difficult. Please try not to look for excuses. Rather look for all the reasons why you've got the resources to make the products you can. Affiliate marketing is fantastic. You are selling other people's products. You're promoting their products. But if they take those products down, you no longer have that business. If you're creating your own products, you have complete control and complete autonomy. That is what a true ultimate long-term business is built on. Now, it's no big deal if you decide to start for a smaller amount, whether it be $50,000 a month or $50,000 a year. The fact is you've got to start somewhere. The problem often is that some people decide they're going to quit their job and go straight into internet marketing. I wouldn't recommend that. I understand about the principle of burning your boats and bridges and going for it, but if you don't have to do anything that dramatic, I'd recommend taking the more cautious route. So I'd recommend you don't quite quit your job, but you can certainly aim to buy that bigger house. It may involve a bigger mortgage, or at the very least a much bigger deposit, because you will have succeeded in saving that through your ongoing work online. I want to convince you that unless you get over the it's too hard part and just learn to do it, you will never build the full-time internet income that you so desire. Just like graduating from high school or college, or getting that first big promotion at work, or getting even promoted to CEO of your company, or whatever your claim to fame is in the non-internet world. That was hard work. Your fingers bled, you lost sleep at night, you got sick, you burned out, you broke down, you worked so hard, etc., etc. The fact of the matter is, you can't just ride on your offline successes as a CEO or bus driver or accountant or even bookkeeper or desk jockey or efficiency expert. The internet is different. You see, the internet does not have the advantage of the offline world of physically patting someone on the back and saying, "Job well done." It's personal. People trust you in the offline world because you are trustworthy. They know that because they spend 8 hours a day with you working or 2 hours a day with you doing something else, such as maybe bowling or golfing. The fact is, it's different online. The only thing you have online is your words. Sure, you can speak to them on YouTube as I'm doing to you now. I can speak to you on a podcast. I can write an email, an article, or a Facebook post. But the trust you create is 100% with your words. And if you don't learn to use your words correctly to inspire trust, you won't be able to make sales. And if you don't make sales, no one has invested in you. And if no one invests in you, you don't change lives. And of course, you don't have a full-time income, which is why you are here, right? So, the writing is critical. I'm also going to ask you to write a daily email starting in a few days. And if you don't have a list, you are going to tell me you don't have a list. And I'm going to tell you to write a daily email anyhow. You can send it to your top 5 contacts in your email. If your friends are willing to read your daily email, if you ask them maybe for 30 days, they aren't really your friends. They are your fakes, not your friends. You can post your daily email on Facebook, or speak your daily email onto a YouTube video, or put it on the website of your blog. But you must write your daily email. If you do not, you will fail. Simple as that. If you do, you are way on your way to amazing success. Writing a daily email is a habit you must do, starting nearly immediately. I will teach you how in a few days. You are also going to start creating training that you can sell. In a few days, I will teach you exactly what to do and how to do it. And what happens many times is that folks are so scared to turn on the recorder and record the sound of their voice that they never do it. If you don't, you will fail. What's the worst that can happen if you turn on your recorder and teach something you've already written out? Nothing. And then you will listen to it and you won't like the sound of your voice. Well, there's nothing you can do about that now. You've probably been talking like that for 20 years and didn't even know it. Seriously, you cannot record something 10 times over because you don't like the way it sounds. I've had people tell me they don't like the way some of my recordings sound, and I've never recorded one ever over again. But people keep coming back and buying them again and again and again. Why? Because of the content, not the sound of my voice. You must get over any fears about recording. Look, I'm not asking you to get over the fear of snakes. Hey, they bite and occasionally kill. I'm not asking you to get over the fear of your government or your emotions or your wife. I'm just asking you to open your mouth and turn on the recorder and talk to the recorder instead of just thinking about how you're going to change the world and what you would say if Martin or Sean offered to interview you on your topic. Instead, just pretend I'm interviewing you for your product and record it. Recording a training is very, very easy to do, and I'll show you how. In fact, I'm doing it right in this very video, right here for you now. And finally, as these pieces are all coming together, I'm going to teach you how to attract people to your website. I'm going to suggest to you some things that you might not think will work. And just like everything above, they won't work if you don't do them. I'm not going to go into what they are here. I want you to get these other pieces in place first. Now there's one more thing I want to cover before I give you today's lesson work. I want to talk about the dedication to make this happen. You see, and I've made this very clear so far, this is going to be hard work. And I know you're willing to work hard. What happened in the past is you've seen a business model, you've taken training or tried to copy it, you've worked really hard, but it didn't work in a month, so you found a different business model and you tried to make that work. And you worked really hard and it didn't work in a month, so you found a different business model. And you tried to make it work and you worked really hard and it didn't work in a month, so you found a different business model, and so on and so on. That's what the last 12 months have been like, right? You've bought training, worked hard and gotten stuck. You've done what the gurus have told you and worked hard and gotten stuck. Again and again. And I can promise you this training for 45 days is like boot camp. It's going to be really very hard and you will get stuck. And if you quit on lesson 23 or lesson 32 because it's just too hard, you will once again be looking for another business model. Let me tell you this, believe me, what I'm teaching you here is exactly what I do in my own business. Exactly. I think sometimes when you buy training from someone who runs a $30 million business and they've hired hands who run their ads, hired hands who write their copy, and hired hands who write their emails, and you try to learn from them, can I say something and you won't judge me for being judgmental or whatever this is? Sometimes the gurus don't even know what they're teaching you won't work. Because it worked 10 years ago when they got started, but they don't actually do the work anymore. They pay people to do the work. And that's all well and fine. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I hire people to do some parts of my business. But the fact remains that I do what I'm teaching you here. This is what I do right now, right here, to make a full-time living. I write just like I am now, and I write a daily email, and I write persuasively, and I attract folks to my site, and I create training, and because of the trust I've instilled with my daily email, I tell people they should sign up for my training just like you did, and they pay me, and they take the training, and they learn, and they have success, and they like my training. It's what I do. It's also the way you'll make your living, and you will write a daily email. You will learn to write persuasively so you can write sales letters that get people to pay you. You will learn to create training that people want to buy, and you will learn to attract people to your website who need what you have. That's what I'm going to be teaching you, and I personally promise that the exercises I give you will teach you all of that as long as you do everything that I teach you. Now there's one more thing. You must be dedicated. You must be absolutely 100% determined to make this work once and for all. You must have the willingness to take responsibility for making your business work. If you just go along for the ride, do the exercises I give you just so you can say you did them, that's like a dog going to school for 8 years, coasting along, and then when he gets his diploma, gets his license, and you go to his office, he comes to your examination room and he says, "Look, ma'am, I don't really want to be here. I don't know what's wrong with you. I just went through the motions, but the book says to prescribe this medicine, so here you go." How long would that last? If you just go through the motions and just barely do the work just so you can say you've done the work to prove that my system doesn't snap, then that's it. That's your choice. But this business does work. It does work when you will follow the rules, following what we say because we do it ourselves every day. You must have a willingness to really want to learn, to write persuasively, to have people want to give you their money in exchange for your awesome training. You must be willing to find a way to make things happen. When people don't buy right away, you must be committed to finding out why. When your sales letter doesn't convert, you must be willing to read it like a customer and ask, would I buy this? And if not, you must be committed to learning how. You must be committed that when it's time to start going online and attracting prospects to your site, that you don't spend your time watching YouTube videos or reading emails about silver bullet ways to make a living online, that you don't spend your time on Facebook reading and responding to posts. You must make yourself so very laser focused on your success online that nothing will distract you. Folks sometimes ask me what to do not to be distracted. Here's the solution. Want it so bad that nothing can distract you. If you really, really, really want something in life, nothing distracts you, right? Remember when you were courting your wife, you weren't distracted by all the other pretty girls, were you? When you were taking the SAT and you had to get a 1200 to get into the college of your choice, you didn't go on Facebook, did you? Not that they actually had Facebook then, certainly not when I went to university. When you were enforcing curfew for your 14-year-old daughter, you didn't get distracted and go watch a movie, did you? I could go on and on. But the things that are really important to us, nothing distracts us. If it's really important, distractions don't happen. So if you're constantly distracted, it is possible you really don't want it bad enough. If I told you that if you were to write non-stop for 24 hours without looking at Facebook, and I would send you and your family to Hawaii for 10 days, all expenses paid, could you avoid Facebook, texting, and Google for 24 hours? Of course you could. It's exactly the same with us. When you really, really want it, when you are 100% determined, you will absolutely get there. And so on, and so on, and so on. It's up to you. Have you got what it takes? Would it be worth it to turn off Facebook, shut down YouTube, other than of course watching this lesson, turn off texting or anything else that distracts you? How bad do you really want to be full-time online? You must be committed to finding a way to make it work. You must be willing to do whatever it takes to find a way to attract people to your website. I'm going to teach you how to do everything. Write persuasively, create your training, attract folks to your website. But one of those things might be a little hard for you, and you'll have to work a little harder to master that one thing. And the difference between success and failure will be whether or not you buckle down and find a way to master that one thing. Are you willing to dig deep and make this happen? Excellent. Then let's proceed. Let us proceed now. It's actually lesson 4 of using our 10 by 10 matrix. If you've already created your 10 by 10 matrix, you're already well on your way to success in your information marketing. I believe that you've already completed one of the hardest parts of building your info funnel. So what are you going to use your matrix for? It's going to serve as the outline, perhaps the blueprint for each of the next several products you create, as well as many of the articles you will write and emails you will compose. You see, no matter how big the product is that you create, it will still follow the basic outline of your 10 by 10 matrix. The only difference between the products is the depth of information and the depth with which you communicate with your buyers. For example, when you write an ebook, you will be lightly touching on each topic in your 10 by 10 matrix by writing one page per topic in your 10 by 10 matrix, giving you a total of 100 pages for your ebook. When you record your first CD series or MP3s, you will do a 10 one-hour CD with 10 topics on each CD, giving you about 6 minutes per topic. With 6 minutes, you'll be able to go a little deeper into your topic than with one page of writing, and you will communicate with your buyers in a deeper fashion, as they will connect deeper with you when they hear your voice, rather than just reading your words on paper. This is important. It is so important because this is the difference that makes the difference. As you can see, I've gone on and I'm going to actually continue reading this on the next video to make sure that you are ready to start writing your lesson.